Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. You walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
Wake that ass up. Ain't no sleeping in here. It is not gonna. Well, how would I know? Well, try me. Let me hear a snore. It's going down. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I am bathrobe-less today because it's too hot. They're all over there. Maybe tomorrow. But I'm here, you're here, and that's the greatest thing of all. And our fantastic guest is here. He's in the green room. Is he in the mini bar? Somebody go. I'm kidding. You're going to love this guy. I'm telling you, we got some info for you today, some intel, some inspiration, all those things that should connect with your intuition, your intellect, your intelligence, because you're bright people, and we want to go from bright to brighter, strong to stronger, great to greater. Can I get an amen? I'm in that kind of mood today. I'll kick it off. There's the bell of purpose. I ring it throughout the broadcast on purpose and with purpose. Why? Is it a clever gimmick or show prop, perhaps? No, it is not. It is, in fact, a reminder, an opportunity of sorts that just like that bell, when you hear it rings, well, the truth has that too, a ring to it. Listen for it in everything you do, and you'll see. It'll pay off. So you'll hear that, and you'll hear this. She's here every day. This is my sidekick. She's my very own Ed McMahon. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Say good morning. So tomorrow I am in the city. Oh, I should have had you guys. I should have loaded the. We'll get it during the break. I'm at speaking tomorrow. Came in the last 24 hours. So going to be at a conference for crowdfunding. Speaking tomorrow, and so if you're in the city of Chicago, I'll get you the information. Perhaps we can connect there. Right? More of that to come, and watch my page. We'll put more as the day develops. So today, is a great day. A lot of you, I know who you are. I know we've been together for years. Hi, Lori. There's a couple that are here all the time. Hello, Robert. How are you? And the rest of you, I see you looking good out there. No matter what you're doing, solopreneur, entrepreneur, whatever it is you're doing, even if you're doing stuff for your church or a nonprofit, your community, you, believe it or not, have been called upon at some time in your journey to do some marketing, even selling those Girl Scout cookies. Marketing. A lot of us think we know, and a lot of us think that it's above us, it's beyond us, it's difficult to comprehend, to understand. How do I hack it? How can I be even more successful? So today's guest, Michael, and this is his real name, BUZINSKI. He's such a BUZINSKI. I bet I'm the first person to ever say that. Not Michael Buzz, so you can call him Buzz. I think I'm going to try that today. He's here with us. He has a very, very impressive marketing agency and a book out that's going to help change the way you do business. The Rule of 26. It's for service-based businesses. 3 steps to doubling website revenue. Now there's something to think about. He also, they do everything. Websites, redesigns. They help with your search engine optimization. That is huge. I can tell you about that. Didn't know anything about it. I'm going to learn more today. So anyway, I'd rather, like the kids say, I can show you better than I can tell you. So I'm going to show you by bringing him in here. First time in you guys, so you know what we do. We welcome by putting some hearts on the screen. It's a virtual way of applauding, getting to your feet for a standing ovation. Did I say feet? Lord Jesus. Grandmama, quick. She came in here yesterday. If you don't quit channeling through me, man, if I gave you the list of words that I have written down that only she could get away with, perhaps I will one day. But today, right now, get ready because I hear him coming down the hallway. He's on his way in. Michael BUZINSKI. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good. So do we call you Michael or do we call you Buzz?
I only put it there so that people can get the shortcut on the Buzz.
But do people call you that like in the office?
Everybody. There's people who don't know that my first name's Michael.
Really?
And so, yeah, so I'll be in like business meetings, or if I'm speaking or anything like that, and somebody will reference like, "Hey, have you met Michael Buzinski?" And they'll literally say,
Who?
"Who's Michael Buzinski?" But then they say Buzz, and they go, "Oh, Buzz, I get it. Yeah, Buzz from Buzzworthy. I got it.
So do they ever put Buzz with Buzinski?
Yes, actually, when I was in the Air Force, one of my name
Oh,
tags.
wait.
That's
I'm
right.
Air Force 2.
That's right.
Yes. The only way to fly. Aim high.
Aim high.
Thank you for your sacrifice, for your service.
Thank you for your service.
So go on with your story.
So, I was a flyer. I flew on AWACS, and we have patches with our name, and we, as flyers, you have call signs. And so, when I was a young airman, it was Buzzman, and then that got shortened as I became a staff sergeant and came to Buzz. And at one point, the supply office gave me my new patches with my new wings, as I had got an upgrade in wings, and they just put Buzzbizzinski instead of Michael Buzzbizzinski, which is supposed, yes, it was against regulation until
I was going to say that's not in 3510. So they stepped outside of 3510 and did their thing. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
That's how institutionalized my nickname was at that point. Like, they're just everybody called me Buzz.
It sounds like a fly name. Well, it's Buzz is flying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, buzzing
so
around.
Perfect. So, how did you fly into the world of marketing, advertising, and all of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I was in music at a young age. I actually became a professional jazz trombonist at the age of 13. Wow. And that translated into me picking up the guitar and being a rock musician for about 15 years, working musician for 15 years. And along the way, you have to promote, you have to do all these things to get your name out and all that good stuff. And it translated into the jobs I took as well. I quickly realized that food, I started working in the fast food industry at like 13 and a half, as soon as I could get a work permit in California. And I realized like I can't do food. This is not who I am. And so I got into what you can get into, which is sales and marketing at a young age. They'll take anybody who's willing to take no for an answer over and over again. So I'm pretty good with that.
I was too for some reason.
So I climbed a few corporate ladders as a teenager and a young adult, and actually joined the service to get out of doing that. And during the service, I stayed in working bands. We gigged, we did a couple of little mini tours around the Midwest and stuff like that. And when I got out in 2005, I was unhireable. I had not really prepared myself for getting out after 10 years of service. My job didn't translate. And so I actually I started a recording studio and worked with working musicians to start with. Just unfortunately, surviving off of starving musicians was a horrible business plan. So it immediately pivoted into media production. And I've always had a soft spot for small businesses. I personally believe that they're the backbone of our middle class. They create something like 92% of all new jobs are created by small businesses. And so I kind of gravitated towards where that need was, because there was not, class A media production for the SMBs. And I was up in Alaska, so it was really bad up there. And so that over the years grew into a creative agency. And in 2018, I closed that all down at a multi-million-dollar creative agency, 13,000 square foot facility, 22 employees, the whole 9 yards. And I just was sick of the agency life. And so in 2019, I started Buzzworthy Marketing, which is a marketing firm specifically focused on the needs, the holistic needs, integrated marketing, if you will, needs of small service-based businesses. And we focus mainly on B2B services companies.
So break it down a little more. Somebody might be going, what did he say? What is B2B, business to business? Yeah, but what does that look like? You have given two companies that.
Yeah, great question. So B2B is, so it's going to be businesses servicing businesses, right? And so the easy ones are CPAs, business lawyers, business consultants. Now they've got what's called fractional executives. So these are people who come in at a C-suite level, the high end level of a smaller business, and they hire them at a fraction of the time because they can't afford them full time.
Yeah.
They need the expertise of that. They don't need them 40 hours a week. They may only need them for 5 to 10 hours a week. And so they get that, they only pay for that fraction there, but they get all of that experience.
Right.
Other ones we work with are business consultants. You have folks who do different like HR, those types of things. So they're just simple. If a business is servicing a business with a service, then they're a B2B service-based business.
I know you're gonna go like, are you kidding me? You want me to say that? But I do.
No, I love it.
Well, because
okay.
let's talk about the consultant
Right.
for a moment. Because, okay, let's just be real. That has kind of gone the way of back in the 80s when you heard personal trainer. You were like, ooh, personal trainer. That's cool. Now, anybody can say they're, it's one of those words that's kind of gotten, the Kool-Aid has gotten, watered down. It's been bastardized, if you will. You don't know what it really looks like. What does it take to be a consultant? Some people get tired of being a coach and they think I make more money. So I'm going to stop saying I'm a coach, start saying I'm a consultant. But you're in the business. Tell everybody in a Reader's Digest kind of version, what makes a consultant a consultant?
This is how I like to build it, break it out, because there's actually 3 levels when it comes to business services in the consulting, coaching, and fractional area. They're actually, all 3 of those are very, they're interconnected. Okay. So coaches, a business coach is much like a sports coach. They sit on the sidelines and and coach them up. So they're like, hey, we're going to call some plays. You're going to go out and execute it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they're usually there for a very finite amount of time, right? There's a season for a coach. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then you get into, and to be a coach, you have to have experience in the industry. You have to have experience in the tasks that you're coaching, right? True. So like a football coach would need to understand the game of football to be a coach. Usually they've either played or they've been an assistant coach and worked their way up there because they're a student of the game. But one of those 2 things has to happen. You have to be a basically certified student in coaching, in business coaching, or you have done it for so long that you're like, hey, listen, I've screwed this up enough times to tell you what not to do. Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Then you can get into the consulting. Now, consulting gets a little deeper, right? It's a little bit more in the weeds but you're still not doing it. Okay. And that one right there can be an infinite amount of time. There's no set. You can have a consultant. I've had consultants that have lasted 5-10 years, right? They've had clients for that long. I've consulted most of them when we used to do consulting. Now we do fractional stuff, and I'll get in that in a second. But in the consulting world, it's just as long as you're providing value, you're continuing with them. Think of that one more as a mentor. It's a little more personal, a little deeper. You do some things for them, but not the actual task. So you might do the research. And then bring that research and then work with them to create the strategy. Okay. And then there's the fractional. So on a fractional executive, usually in the C-suite. So C-suites are like CEOs. So chief executive officers, chief operation officers, chief marketing officers, chief financial officers, all of those. So top line stuff in big companies.
Is that what the C stands for?
Yeah. Chief. Yeah. There you go. I'm sure somebody will tell us that we can't use that word anymore.
I didn't know. Because I'm pretty much a one-man show. So
there you go.
But I see it all the time.
Everyone officer.
Yeah. C-suite. It's like all of them are in the okay.
Yeah. So that's your leadership team. So and in big corporations, that is a whole level of people, right? Is the C-suite. That's why they call it that. It's usually top level, and it's all the top level thinking, strategy, and all that good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But the and so when you're looking at a fractionals actually execute, right? And now they're not doing so I'm a fractional CMO, so chief marketing officer.
Wait a minute.
When I come in,
this word, I'm sorry, fractional.
Say again?
Is this term fractional, is it new?
It is relatively new. I would probably say the last 15 years that it's kind of surfaced and it's
Okay.
exploding. So what's happening right now is that we have a whole generation of executives that, because of the internet, are able to now retire from years, 30, 40 years of being executives at enterprise level. Now they're sitting there going, what am I going to do? And instead of like, a lot of them want to be a consultant. That's fine. But the consultants are usually the folks who are like in middle management or upper middle management, and they're coaching other smaller businesses at that level that they know. But at a C-suite level, you're talking strategy, you're talking vision, mission, those types of things. And so it's a different space. And when you're calling a fractional in, you're looking for them to actually do the visionary work of that chief XO is what we call it. So the X stands for all of the C-suite. So chief CXO is going to come in and do what they do well. So it's chief financial officer. If they're fractional, they're going to come in and I'm going to set up these systems, and then I'm going to monitor those systems, and then on a regular basis come in and help you with your financial vision, your financial goals, those types of things. What a CFO would do on a day-to-day basis at an enterprise level, because there's so much to do. But in a small to medium-sized enterprise, there's not that much as much to do. So they can you can come into a system, create your system in there into their company, and you don't have to be there every day to keep it going, because they don't need that much effort as much as an enterprise level would. So for me as a fractional CMO, I come in and I create a strategy for the company. I create the goals, the quarterly goals and objectives, and all those types of things. And then if they have a team, either internal or external, or usually a hybrid, I oversee the project management of all that stuff. This allows the owner now to focus on whatever they do really well for their business, right? And in the services arena, it's usually doing the service, right? And so they're if you don't have somebody working on your marketing, I'm just going to use me as an example. If you don't have somebody working on your marketing, you're going to end up in this production marketing roller coaster. Because if there's only one of you, right, you're going, okay, I got a bunch of clients, I got all this production. That means you have no time for marketing. And then all of a sudden, the cycle goes. Right? You lose the clients age out, whatever that looks like. And now you get to do a little bit more marketing, and you're going back and forth. And all of a sudden, you don't have as many clients as you do. Now you're all in marketing. And now you're not making as much money. You're spending all your time in marketing, get it back and forth. Where if you have a fractional, regardless of what it is, but in the marketing side, it means that you can serve your clients and still be replacing your attrition along the way without having to stop doing your production. And so that's really on the small business side of things, allows these SMEs to grow on a steady basis versus these big roller coasters that we've historically seen.
Wow. Ooh, boy. Ooh, wee. Yeah. You got to know your stuff. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot. But I saw something in your storehouse, in your warehouse, in your pantry. Let's call it that. All the things you offer, all the different services you offer, folks. Mm-hmm. So I want to go, instead of starting at the front end, website design or redesign, I'm going to go all the way to the far end. And let's talk about this thing called reputation management.
Okay.
There's something you don't hear people talking about much. What is that as far as your presence out there? That I think it's very important to talk about this with all the things that are happening, where people can take people with AI now, generated voices and faces, and cut your face out and put it in the middle of a gangbang video or something. No, seriously.
I know.
Or anything that you've got to, I know, because I've had shit, and I'm just keep it real, where somebody in a thread on Facebook put something in there, or, something nasty or X, and then here you're getting strikes and you're getting warnings, and you don't know who to talk to. You can't call. You just have to, you can file a complaint. And I think that's AI running that too. I'm like, y'all ain't real, So talk about this reputation management. What is it? And how do you help people with it? And what are some of the warning signs, or what are some of the things people ought to know about it?
Right. That's a good question. So reputation management is exactly what it sounds like. Okay. It's your reputation and you're managing it. In the service-based businesses, out there, and any, whether you're working with consumers or other businesses, your reputation is all you have.
Yeah.
If you have a bad reputation, it's very hard for you to get new clients, because people, that your reputation precedes you. We've heard all this, that saying before. So what reputation management says, okay, we're going to take a proactive stance on our reputation. Now, the most common one is Google, where we look at the Google Maps, right? Where people go and said, I need an accountant near me. Okay. Boom. There is a list of all these accountants in the Google Maps. And you, in the rankings, you'll see there, if you look, you'll see these little stars. And everybody knows the 5 stars is the best, all the way down to 1 star. And if you've ever given a Google review, you're impacting somebody's reputation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Google ranks people by a fit to the keywords that they were searching. So if I was saying accountant near me, that's great. I'm an accountant and I'm near this person. I should show up. Except if I don't have enough reviews to say that I'm an awesome accountant near them, then you're going to get pushed down that list. And so in Google, in the search reputation management in the search engines, what we do is we help people get more positive and manage their negative, because you're human. Humans serving humans means things happen. Bad things happen. It's not on purpose. It's not deliberate. It's just, it happens. You get with a client that's just not a good fit for you, or you happen to adopt a client who is never going to be happy. Yeah. And so we teach people how to navigate that to where it doesn't hurt them, and also how to bury bad press, if you will. Right.
And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that piece, because there are people here, because we all said it. We all believe it. We love our small businesses. We hate when we see them falling by the wayside, disappearing at an alarming rate, like endangered species. Everything from drive-ins to theaters and ice cream shops and all the places that really speak to Americana. Right. And not just big box. You know how it is. Go to Costco on a Saturday when they open at 10. First of all, how in the hell you gonna open at 10 on a Saturday? You know what I'm saying? I got things to do. I ain't trying to wait until the middle of the day, which when you're this old and you get up at 4 in the morning, 10 o'clock is almost middle of the day. So anyway, now that I've ranted, I want to say this. So Trustpilot. And when you see these things, and sometimes, and what I'm getting at is the responsibility of us, your everyday Joe, the consumer. Sometimes people bitch about stuff and blow it out of proportion, and they don't realize, look what you're doing to this business. And then next week you back in there ranting and raving because now somebody complimented your shoes on the property and you love the place. So then you talk about the responsibility of the consumer as far as not, should it be easy for you to just sling shit on anybody? You know what I'm saying, Mike? So
there's actually statistics that show that people are 7 times more likely to complain than give accolades.
See,
people love to complain, and I appreciate you bringing up the point that as consumers, regardless of it's the B2B or B2C business consumer, wherever you're at, you do have a responsibility to a small business to be honest. I'll give you an example if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I just had my house painted, and we spent a lot of money on it. I have a big house, and there's a lot of paint. And it took them 6 weeks to get a 5-day job done. They got paint on brand new leather furniture, old leather furniture, all over my floors, cuts bad, the whole 9 yards, right? The one thing that kept me from losing my shit, if you will, is the fact that they kept coming back and kept saying, we'll make it good. Now, I had a really bad experience for the amount of money, because we hired somebody that we considered to be a premium. They were charging a premium. I expect a premium. Okay.
Yes. And
so I gave them a 3, and I gave them a 3 very specifically because because they made good on everything there, everything they said they would do. They had some guarantees. They cashed in on the guarantees, the whole 9 yards. But it still took 6 weeks. And so I gave a very fair review. I said, it's a 3. It took them 6 weeks. They got paint everywhere, ... But the second little stanza was they stood behind their guarantees and made good on the things that went wrong.
See,
the last piece was it shouldn't take that long. what my whole point of giving that review is somebody understands that, hey, listen, you're going to pay a premium there, but they're going to stand behind their word. Just be prepared that you might not get it as fast as you think you should.
Yeah.
That's a fair review.
Exactly.
Right? And then they responded to it. So somebody's coaching them up pretty good because they responded to it, says, thank you for sharing the fact that we stand behind our word, ... They highlighted the positive, which is what they were supposed to do. Now, in that interaction, somebody seeing that shouldn't run from this company. They should just make sure when they're considering hiring that company,
you're an informed decision.
Right.
Right. And that's true. And that's the thing. See, now you're giving me, the next person to come along, something to work with. And I feel like this, Buzz, I really do. Because we get handed, and I do feel bad, Gigi girl at Home Depot in the pickup department from Saturday. I just threw the little thing away yesterday that she gave me, but I kept it on the counter all the way from Saturday. I really intended to go on and do her thing, but there's something that pissed me off, and I was cleaning up because that's what I do. And I was like, sorry, Gigi, next time. And because she's like, if you wouldn't mind, here's my name on the thing. When you get a chance, if you do, if you could go on and do the survey or get to let them know how I did. Now, I'll say this. You know why I try to always keep that stuff in front of me, Buzz, is because I don't want to be that bitter old bitchy man that kids gonna come and put toilet paper in my trees and shit on Halloween or egg me because I'm just rotten to the core. So what I'm getting at is I came from the service industry. I was a server, right? And it came all the way up from that. But I'll tell you, I just feel horrible if I just talk about what's bad. So what I'm getting at is there responsibility when you have good service, when you have a great experience, and to make sure that you do something to balance that way when I do bitch about something, I'm not embellishing. You know what I'm saying?
I think I do. This is how I approach it as a consumer. If I see a small business, if I go into, say, Home Depot, like you mentioned Home Depot, and have a good experience, guess what? I expect that from Home Depot, right? Yeah. When I have a bad experience, I know if I complain, it's not really going to have an impact. Okay. So really, I don't care. It's like you deal with the big box stores the way you deal with big box stores. That's the power of big box stores. They can screw up 100 times more than a small business and have no impact versus the small business having a big impact.
Big impact.
So when I give a bad review as a business owner, I go, if that was the roles were reversed and I was there, I owned their business and they were the client to me, what would I say? Yeah. And would I deserve it? Because you got to take your emotion out of it. So I usually do not give a bad review the day I got bad service. Let it cool. You got to have that simmer.
Oh, that's a great one.
Right. Then if I'm still upset enough to give a bad review, then it's worthy of a bad review. And I make sure that if I think 2, I give a 3. If I think 1, I give a 2. If I think 1, I give them. It's usually never a 1, right? Unless somebody ripped me off, right. I will give them a 1, and I will say I would have gave them 0s if I could. So I'll start right there because I'll know this is not going to be a good thing, right? Another thing I do when I give a bad review is that I give specifics. The worst bad review you can give is these people suck. That gives the reader nothing. See, bad reviews are really good for service-based businesses to get because it lets people who are interested in the bad reviews, like for me, I don't look at the positive stuff because it's easy to give good service when everything goes right. It's the 4s, the 3s, the 2s, the 1s. I want to sample those. I want to know how you're going to treat me when things go bad.
Yeah.
Right. So if I give specifics in my reviews, then I can give the next person that just like I did with the painter. Hey, listen, they do good work. You're going to have to like walk them through. Some of their crews are not as good as others, basically. Right. Is what I'm saying.
Should we be suspicious of all 5s?
Oh, you should always be. So there's actually a book out. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head, but the author talks about the fact that you really are looking for those businesses that if they have more than say 50, like if it's nice if you know your first 10, obviously your brand new business, you're going to have all fives. But if you have somebody who has over 50 or 100 reviews and they're all fives, very suspicious. But
Yeah.
but so you're looking for those 4.5 to 4.8s when they get over 50 reviews, right? Because some of those are going to be fours. You're going to have a sprinkle of threes and twos. And so what a lot of people do is they'll actually go to the ones and the twos and see, whoa, wow, something really went bad. Well, what happened and how did they handle it, right? So what happened is on the responsibility of the consumer to say, this is what happened and do it fairly, right? Because as consumers, we have a responsibility to good customer service. If we don't allow our service provider to give us that and we're not honest about it, we're painting an untrue picture, which does the reader no good, right? The second half of that is how does the business respond, right?
Mhm.
And when we work with companies, we actually teach them how to take those bad experiences and sometimes be able to go back to the client and make that 2 a 3, that 3 a 4, sometimes a 3 to a 5,
Yeah.
right? Because somebody just dropped the ball and it's just a matter of asking them again to do it. Now, let's flip that over to the positive stuff. I have really good experience. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm not gonna just say this place rocks. Food was awesome. My server was cool. Doesn't you no good as a reader. I like this place because of this, this, and this. And the reason I do that is for the same reason, because if somebody sees a good long review,
Right.
they know that, okay, this person actually is going to share their experience. Because even if I give them a 5, doesn't mean you're going to have a 5-star experience, because maybe you have different tastes than I do.
Yeah.
Maybe you have different expectations, right? So when we talk about reputation, it's not just about making all the people happy all the time. You're not going to do it. You can make some of the people happy some of the time. And so just be gracious with that, both as a service provider, if you're in business for yourself, and as a consumer, understanding that small business owners are trying to feed their kids. They're trying to, attain their dreams.
Exactly.
They're trying to save up for their retirement, just like you are, right? It's a full-time job. We're not all sitting around drinking pina coladas, we're not those guys, right?
That's right. That's right.
It's a responsibility. It is a full-time job. And
what about this? Do you how would you handle if you get a client who has a reputation issue? Because here's the deal. It's like when you get something negative in your SEO, people charge. I had that happen to one of my coaching clients. She had something really nasty that was in the midst of her SEO. And it worked its way out eventually, like a splinter will. However, the panic and whatnot that it caused, because it was at the front end of her career, and it was not fair, but it was there. And when we worked to find professionals to help, rectify the problem, it was like $5,000-$10,000 for someone to come in. And so let's talk about when a person has negative reviews and stuff, or in their SEO, how does that work? It's because this digital world changes moment by moment. So some people think the more good you get, it's going to push that other thing down the rabbit hole. Some people think you can hire somebody and come in and take it out. How do you turn things around?
That's a very deep question, and it does depend on what it is and where it is happening. Okay, so in the review process, you have to bury it, because Google is 99.9999% not going to take it down. Doesn't matter if it's frivolous. Doesn't matter if they've.
Somebody's just being spiteful or vengeful.
It's not even that. Shoot, I had somebody. I have no idea who it was. They walked by. They geotagged themselves, gave us a 3, and never walked into our building. Like, just weird stuff, right? There's also bots out there that were giving negative reviews. So you have those things, and Google doesn't care. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and you're just some peon, right? You're just another digit in some binary language that they don't care about, right?
Wow.
And so you have to. So when it comes to the Google Maps reputation management, you have to bury it. So I just had a client who got a 3, and there's nothing we can do to get the client to come back and make good and blah, 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 blah. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can do as far as that goes. And this is only for those who are having the onesie, twosies, 3s and 2s. Okay. If you get a 4, be happy you got the 4. Okay. Because some people just don't give 5s. And if you try to go back and say, why didn't you give me a 5? They can go back and give you a 3 just to spite you. So be happy with the 4. Okay. We're talking about these 3s and these 2s. Okay. These 3s and these 2s, we want to make sure that we basically just go, and it's a law of averages. So if I have, say, a 99 5s and I have 1 3, it's going to bump me down to 4.9. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to just go ahead and make sure that I respond to it properly, right? But now let's say you only have 10 or 9 5s, and all of a sudden you put a 3. Well, that's going to bop you down to a 4.6, 4.5. Right? What happens if you had a few 5s, a 4, and a 3, right? Now you're dragging down into that 4, 3.9, right? So now what you have to do, but at that point though, now all you have to do is add a couple 4s and 5s on top of that, and that brings your average back up. It's not the amount of 3s and 2s you have. It's what your percentage of 3s and 2s are relevant to your 4s and 5s. Okay. Now, you talked about SEO. What people say out in the internet, you have a lot more power, right? If somebody says something frivolous and maybe even liable, you have legal actions, and you would need to talk to your legal advisor of doing a cease and desist on somebody and taking that down. Okay. Right. But if it's something it's legitimate, or it's being broadcast by somebody who you're not going to be able to move with a simple letter, or taking them to court, which is never worth it. Like, you're going to spend more than $10,000 taking them to court to get one piece of thing down. So at some point you go, well, they're not going to scare off. Okay, well then we need to, again, we're going to bury it, but you can bury it by just replacing it. Okay. If there is because the keywords that you're trying to work from, if it's your name that's bringing it up, then you just have to continue with your personal search brand. Okay. And that's just you keeping out there. We have ways of getting you ranked for your name through press releases and things that don't cost $10,000, $12,000. Okay. Will it cost maybe a couple $1,000s over a few months? Maybe. Depends on how powerful the person is, and what their domain authority was who published the bad thing. Okay. So both are burying the bad with good. Okay. Don't get me wrong, but how much it costs, how long it takes depends on the situation. Okay. But the best thing to do is just make sure that you're consistently putting stuff out there, so that if somebody does come along and says something negative about you,
right. There's so many other great things that, okay, look at the odds, right.
It's going to be on the second page. Only 2% of the people ever go past the second page.
See, okay. And I want to speak to that, because I teach my coaching clients, or I express it. It's one of the first things we work on, and it's what I refer to as an SEO inventory. I do it once a month, where I Google myself, and I go in, because I'm always finding things I did not know were there. For instance, if you're in a major publication of, I forget what magazine, I was in one of them, and somebody, 3 or 4 people did stories from the story, and things will show up and you won't know. And I think it's important to know what's out there. I have music out there. When you Google me, the knowledge key says, or the knowledge panel says, American recording artist. So I find all these places where my music is, and this and other. And I don't care, because I'm not making anything on it, but let's
as a recovering musician, a professional musician, I completely understand where you're coming from.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So what about people? So here's why I love SEO, and I pay attention to it. I find great shows for my clients to be on, because I go to someone that they respect, and we Google them, and we pull up their images. And if you see all the shows that rank, a lot of people, I've been on 15 podcasts last month, and nothing's changing, because it's not showing up. I look at SEO like a grade book. Because I know this, and then I'm going to turn it over to you to take us through this piece. I know that what resumes mean, because if back in the day, if I was going on an interview to clean toilets and I had to come with a resume, I can come with a resume that looks like I invented the toilet. You know what I'm saying? I could. Websites, they know you can put what you want. Speaker One Sheet, as a speaker, you can put what you want. But that SEO, when they Google you, in most cases, that's mainly stuff that you've done, but stuff that you've done with other people and on other platforms, and it's much more credible. So I refer to people and they say, can you send me this or you send me that? Yes, but if I could be so bold, I really would be honored if you would simply Google me first so that you have an opportunity to be baptized into the full body of the work. Because I'm not just one thing. They may come for the Power of We Symposium, my work with kids, and find out that I keynote. They may come for a keynote and find out that I have coaching or workshops or whatever. So that's why I go there. What do you say about the importance of my theory or whatever, the grade book, and SEO in general? Why should people get people like you to help them understand and get that where it needs to be?
Most small businesses and medium-sized businesses suffer from a visibility issue. And the internet is the leverage that SMBs have that they didn't have 20 years ago, right? Shoot, even 10, 15 years ago.
Makes sense.
The way that it is, the power and the leverage you have from having a search engine visibility is something that is beyond just your brand name. Because now you can actually show up when people need your services and not even know who you are, right? Because the keywords that are wrapped around your service are going to pop up. They're not going to look up Dr. Lauren, right? That's not how they're going to find you unless they're looking for you specifically. And that's a different intent, right? We're talking small businesses that are just starting out and nobody knows who they are. Well, the only way to get there is through visibility. And there's a couple of different ways of doing that. That is grassroots marketing, right? Your guerrilla marketing, where you're out networking and you're creating referral partners and all that other stuff. Well, guess what? That's not scalable. Then there's organic inbound marketing, where you're creating all the content and you're showing your authority and you're sharing your insights. You're going on shows like this. This is not the same as your SEO. Your SEO is a lot of times are the videos and the audio and the blogs and the articles and all that other stuff that you have that lives out there that shares your point of view of what you do and what makes you different, right? That's scalable because every one of those pieces sits there for many, many years and can actually bring traffic to you without you doing any more than just that one time. Okay.
Absolutely right.
The other side of what you said, though, is on the press. Because of AI, we now can put in a press room for our clients on their website. And a press room our press room is just like if you owned a media company like, say, CNN or NBC or Fox News or whatever it is, Market Watch, Digital Journal. Okay, they have a press room with all of their articles. Now, you talked about the fact that you have some articles that were out there that you didn't know about. Well, guess what? Now you can have those show up in your press room. And in your press room, it'll show you everywhere that those are being shown. The great thing about this is that then Google sees this on your website and that, wow, there's all these people talking about this website because they're all linked back to you. And so all roads going back to Dr. Lauren's website says, oh, well, if all these people think this person's important and they trust them, then we trust them. And what that does for the rest of your website is that everything that Dr. Lauren now writes about is now trusted more. And that's the only thing Google's there to do. Give good information to people searching for information. That's it. So the only way they can do that is go, well, who do we trust? We trust these people because all these other people trust them. That's the algorithm doesn't know you from Adam, but they do know that if more people trust you, so it's kind of that crowd mentality, right? That mob mentality, if you will, that if enough people like you, then Google will like you too. And then therefore, anything that you put on your website, they'll serve up to people searching for keywords that are prevalent in that piece of content.
Wow. We have barely scratched the surface and the hour's nearly finished. Let's head over to the rule of 26.
Okay.
Because this is how people can continue the dialogue. Perhaps then, of course, and we're going to provide those links to all the places where you can find more about what Michael Buzinski is doing in buzz marketing. But there's also this book, The Rule of 26. Talk about that if you could.
So there's the Rule of 26 for those who are joining us on the TV there.
Okay.
So the Rule of 26 is my way of breaking digital marketing down into 3 steps. Okay. When you talk to marketers, Dr. Lauren, you know this more than probably most. There are there's these numbers called KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay. And these metrics are very important to marketers because it shows their clients what is working, what's not working. Unfortunately, there are hundreds of KPIs to pay attention to. And the majority of them, the hyper majority of them, are what we call vanity metrics, meaning that, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples, likes on your Facebook, right? That's a vanity metric. Okay. Followers, vanity metric. Okay. Traffic technically is a vanity metric if it's not followed up by some other things. Okay. So I went on a mission and said, okay, listen, I don't want to track 100 KPIs, right? I want to track the ones that only the KPIs that actually move the revenue needle. Right? And I found 3 that if you use all 3 of them together, you can leverage them. So the Rule of 26 states that if you increase your website traffic by 26%, then your conversion rate by 26%, meaning if for every 100 of people who come to your website, say 10 reach out to do business with you. If I want to increase that by 26%, that means I need to get 2.6 of those people to then reach out to me. Not huge, guys. I'm giving you these numbers to show you how easy or simple this is. Not easy, but simple.
Okay.
Then there's the average revenue per client. So how much revenue are you getting? What's the quality of leads you're getting? Right? Are you working with the right type of people, the most profitable type of people? So if you can increase that by 26%. Now, if you do the math, 3 times 26 does not equal 100. But when you do all 3 of these, you get 100% more revenue coming from your website.
Wow. So, okay, speaking of websites, let's talk about, because this now a lot of people, and we know the lingo, we know the code. Oh, yeah, it's under construction. And when somebody tells me, I'm like, girl, just a minute. You ain't got no damn website. Because I'll follow up with, well, do you have at least a landing page? You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing because. So let's go there. And I'm telling on myself because I'm telling on myself. I mean, my website, I don't know why I think doesn't matter. I don't know why I think that. I love it, but I never go like, maybe I should update it and put new stuff. Like the stuff that's there, that's like, sometimes I go like, what's that bitch doing on my page? I don't even talk to her anymore. Because it was like 9 years ago.
Right.
And you find, seriously, you know how they come and go.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm this. How often should a person get a refresher done on their website if you consider yourself successful? Right.
I say that your website needs an overhaul every 3 years. And if you don't think that anything changes in every 3 years in your business, you're not paying attention to your business.
Got that right. Ooh,
okay. But when it comes to search engine optimization, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm feeling guilty. I feel like I should be in Game of Thrones where that shame, and they threw that turd and it landed on her shoulder.
Right.
Shame, because I'm guilty of what you're talking about. So bring it on out. What should we do? How do we?
So you got to go back,
and so that you don't lose me in the mix.
Yeah,
I'm already thinking. I bet it's $10,000 to have your website overhauled. There.
Nah. Most small to medium-sized businesses do not have a big enough website to spend $10,000 to do an overhaul, because a lot of the overhaul has to do with the content. Content is cheap, right? We have AI to help our clients write great copy for their website, right? There's all this technology now that really shortcuts this. But for just, I mean, and it depends how big your website is, right? So I've seen some people they'll refresh their website for a few $100s. And then other people, I have a client that has 3 different locations, or that's a dental group. Have 3 different locations, and they have over 150 pages. So yeah, they're going to spend closer to $10,000.
Yeah,
They
'cause
got a lot of stuff to
150
look at.
pages. Well, shit.
Right, exactly. So it's a lot of stuff. So it has to do with the lift, right? How much are we lifting, right? And some of that stuff, it's like, hey, listen, that's actually still good.
Okay.
We could here, maybe get a new picture, and it's done, right? It's not a redesign, guys. This is a
Right.
refresh.
A refresh.
If the
I
design's
want to
still
talk about
good,
that. I need that.
right?
I'm gonna just put it out there. Seriously. I want to
Let's
talk
do
to
it.
you about doing that for me, and then I'll tell you guys what happened. Okay. Listen, I really want to do that. I want to. Let me ask you this: is it a thing? Is it even someplace? Is this a real place, or is it really like Oz? Somebody who, if I said, look, this is a real life. I'm really using this in. If I said to you, okay, look, Buzz, I need a shot in the arm, just freshen up, Febreze my website, if you will. I got 1,000 for now. I got $1,000 for now in small business. I don't want to put it off because if I'm waiting on 2,500, I probably wait 3 more years. Here's the 1,000. Do what you can. It might excite me, and then I go, okay, and it's going to help bring more of what I need to get the rest of what I need from you. Are there people who think that way, or is it just me?
You can do that. Most firms don't want to do that, but with our firm, we're a choose your own adventure marketing firm because we know that we have people at every stage of business, right?
Mm.
We have our newbies, we have the people with more time than money, and people with more money than time. And so we curtail how we approach things. And the thing is this, if you have $1,000 to go through and just get started, right? Like you said, if you hold it there for too long, it'll get spent on something else. But if you prioritize it, if we just went in and looked at your top level pages and freshened those up with that first $1,000, guess what? That's better than nothing. It's like going to the gym 3 times a week versus 5 times a week.
Right.
2 times a week versus 3 times a week, right? Something's better than nothing. And if you have to say, hey, you know what? Every 6 months, I'm going to give you a little bit of money, Buzz, to get us keep going. Guess what? Over time, you're going to be back on track. And you're now going to have trained yourself to where, hey, guess what? We're going to the gym 3 times a week now, all the time, because that's what we can afford to do. Right. And that's okay, as long as it's consistent. Consistency in marketing, especially for service-based businesses, is the key. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. You do not have to redesign wholly everything you have to do a refresh. You don't have to do all of it right now. It doesn't have to be perfect to launch it, right? Imperfection is better than perfection because perfection never happens. Like you said, oh, it's still in a construction because it's not perfect. I'm about to relaunch my website next week. Okay. It's not perfect, guys. And I've been in business for 19 years. I still can't get my website perfect when I relaunch it. Okay. But it is a refresh and it is a big step from where it is right now.
See, that's what I need. We're going to talk about that. Listen, man, I hate we're out of time. The Rule of 26 is the book, folks. And we've put the link, the Amazon link, because it's so extensive. It is in the comment section for you to get to quick and easy. So get over and get yourself.
I'll tell you what, Dr. Lauren, I'll do you better. If they go to ruleof26.com and they're willing to just pay for the shipping and handling, I'll give them a free copy signed by me.
You'll do what?
I'm giving a free copy. Anybody goes to ruleof26.com, all they got to do is pay the shipping and handling.
Well, there you go. Where's my phone? So I can do a screenshot. I want to make sure I get the right one for the free. Right. Okay. Got it. So, just to recap. Get the
That's
book.
a lot.
I know.
I
was like, nope, ain't gonna happen. I didn't even know where to start. There was so much, and we barely scratched it.
I guess we're just gonna have to come back. We're just gonna have to come back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come back. Now you have a podcast too, really quick.
Yes, we do. The Buzzworthy Marketing Show, where we talk all things marketing. This
And where
season,
they
we're
find-
talking about AI and how AI impacts your business, not just in marketing, but in other parts of your business, and it helps you out.
And where do they find the show?
You can actually go anywhere podcasts are listed. We're on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, the whole 9 yards. Just look up Buzzworthy Marketing Show.
Awesome. Okay, you guys, there's the book. You know about the show. We're gonna get Buzz back. Wow. Hang out. I want to talk to you just for a second about how to get on the calendar. Have somebody look at my website or LorneMichaelSayers.com. I need help. I really do. If you need help, check him out. If you have any questions, you can't get to Buzz, get to me, and I'll get you to him. How's that sound? In the meantime, we might need to do a 90-minute TV special on this stuff. And you guys just come in like a master class.
I would love to do that.
Get poured into. You'd be willing to consider that?
We love doing master classes and workshops.
Okay. There you go. Listen, get out of here, you guys. Find your highest self today and then do something with it. Don't just put it in some spiritual Tupperware and put it away. Get out and give it away. That's what you're here to do. This is a journey. Make sure you're involved in it and not watching from the sidelines. Now, listen, I will meet you, God willing, over on the front porch tomorrow morning so we can have another day, another conversation that is illuminated. Get out of the dark. Stay into the light. I want to see you tomorrow. I want to see you every day that I can. I couldn't do this without you, nor would I want to. Now get out of here. And as I tell you every day, I love, love, love you. Oh, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So see you tomorrow. Have the best day ever. Okay. Thank you, guys. You honor me. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye. Thank you so much, Buzz. Great job.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.